So yeah, introduce yourself.
149 CM on ladder, and I've been playing TFT for 4 sets now.
And what rank are you currently?
I'm challenger at like 900 LP or something.
In NA, right?
Yeah,
And what's your peak?
I peaked 1.2k ish, I think, in the last set.
What is your secret to climbing right now?
Currently, this patch is one of the best patches I've played, and the tech is just take your item augments and play uncontested because they nerfed the item drops this patch. So you must take item augments, or else you cannot even itemize 2 carries by the end of stage 3, which is when you roll down. Because you're taking item augments, you're giving up on econ augments, so you must play uncontested to even hit your units.
Do you have a certain line you prefer that you think is like low key broken or you've been climbing a lot with?
I did post a Reddit guide on this, but I think 6 Rapid Fire is one of the strongest comps in the game right now.
Do you think it's okay with just any +1, or do you need the emblem?
Uh, you need the emblem like off a dummy, because your final board will have to be a Renekton with a Rapid Fire emblem. The comp is basically this, and then all the rapid fires, and then the emblem. So this is the setup of the board. The main comp revolves around just ending the fight really fast because your entire board has like the 4.0 attack speed. So they auto a lot, which means because you are dedicating 6 units to your backline, you only have like 3 to 4 units in your front line. So that means healing is really important. So personally, in my opinion, Gunblade is one of, if not the most important item in this comp. Because first of all, Renekton always eats Zeri, and then Zeri will be like 60 HP. So you need her to heal back up. And also, Gunblade provides frontline with it heals the lowest HP ally, which is really important as like you have no frontline, right?
Yeah.
And then the second most important thing of this comp is Sunder, which is Armor Shred, because your entire team is autoing, and your main carries are Renekton, Zeri, and then Draven. So Armor Shred is really, really important in this comp, as you're basically gaining like 30% damage amp from it.
Okay, so
Gunblade.
basically prioritize, after you hit that rapid fire +1, get even shroud and a gunblade.
Yep.
Gotcha. Is this like the ideal positioning you would do, or is that just like something you is just random?
It's just your main tank should normally be in the middle ish, so you can't get wrapped.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they have a Sedge here trying to stun your Renekton, and if you didn't build QSS, you want to just swap sides like this, and because your Sunday should be probably in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be fine.
Okay. What would like the not like obviously you need the gunblade and even shroud, and I'm sure there are some good items like Vow and Sejuani, but ideally, like what would the best items be on your main carries, which are Zeri and Renekton?
For Renekton, this is assuming there's no extra augments to buff the units.
Mm-hmm.
For Renekton, this would be QSS and Gunblade, because he cannot get stunned. If he gets stunned, he's getting to his second cast really late, which is proccing his triple attack really late. Which is this is your win con in late games, because after he gets his triple attack with healing, he can go basically infinite, and he like once your tank dies, he can act as like a second tank because he heals so much, and so
Okay.
that's why he cannot get stunned and he needs to heal. And then for Zeri, you also need another healing item. But if you can build, if you cannot build a second gunblade, you can build a Hodge. It's not even that bad.
Okay.
And then
So you
Zeri,
would
you could just build generic damage items. And yeah,
just generic damage on items on Zeri, and healing is so important on these units that even a Hodge or like would you say BT is fine on Zeri?
I wouldn't build it. I would rather not. Yeah, like BT is still not great. Yeah,
Aren't isn't like Hodge and BT like essentially the same thing? Like, why do you prefer Hodge a bit more?
Hodge gives way more damage and crit chance because she's mostly autoing.
Mm-hmm.
Crit chance matters a lot more than you expect.
Okay, yeah.
Uh, because autos don't you can crit without the spellker effect.
Right, but on just herself, not the clones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say her best exo item is? I think this kind of leads into that.
I think in this meta, it might be Flux because the rise of Poppy reroll, Poppy with Morgana.
Mm-hmm.
So like also Gorilla reroll, which is Window.
Yeah.
Because they're 3 starred, they will be really high HP and flex melts them down a lot. But there's a really interesting thing you can do is that if you have if you have Pulse, the executioner one, you can pair it with a Runan's Hurricane because the Hurricane procs the execution effect. So it's actually a really good combo.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Would you say there's any like bait or like a lot of people have played this comp? Like it's not a secret anymore, but a lot of people don't seem to be doing as well. What are like some of the biggest pitfalls and baits that people fall into when playing this comp?
Uh, One of the biggest thing I see people do is that they build Redemption. This is really bad. Like because first of all, you have three frontline units, and they're normally spread out. So Redemption only heals one unit. Second of
Mm-hmm.
all, your fights last 10 seconds. So Redemption procs like once or twice, and then it doesn't really do it. And Belt and Tier are both really good like items because Belt is Warmogs, which is one of the best items you can build because it's just flat HP for your tank. And then Tier is Vow or even Adaptive, which are both really good items as you're running. And if you have excess tiers, this is you can build Hodge. Obviously, if you have too many excess tiers somehow, blue buff is not even better on Zeri because she's 40 mana with a lot of attack speed. She can cast her clones a lot more. It's surprisingly a decent item on her.
Oh, that's interesting. So like once you have all that attack speed built on her, the blue buff isn't as bad as a scaler, right? Because you're like getting more clones with more attack speed.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Rage Blade on Zeri?
Uh, if you You should not ever build Rageblade in this comp.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, because Rod is always a gunblade. Second of all, because like it gives you like 5 AS per attack, and you gain 24 per attack. So it's just diluted and it doesn't really do anything in the comp.
Gotcha. So Rage Blade's like a clear bait in this comp. You should not ever build Rage Blade.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you do? And this is probably something that a lot of people are going to be wondering. What do you do before you hit this Renekton?
There are a lot of good rapid fire emblem holders. For example, uh, Urgot. Urgot 1 on 8 with a rapid fire emblem is really, really strong. It also farms you gold and items, which are really scarce in this economy.
Mm-hmm.
Items mostly. And also, if you hit a Z2, Z2 goes in before Urgot 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because, first of all, it activates Cypher for your Draven, which you should be itemizing before your Renekton. And Z2 is also a good holder rapid fire, surprisingly. Like he just does a lot of damage with a rapid fire emblem.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So leading to that, like, what is kind of the game plan with this comp? Because I see a lot of people like roll into 0 on 8. I see a lot of people swear by the fast 9. What's the, like your kind of mentality when you get a +1 on 2-1 with this comp?
There are two ways you can play this comp. First of all, because you have Galio and Draven, you can angle it with a Cypher. Because you can never have too many items in this comp.
Mm-hmm.
Since you can literally itemize everyone except for Kog'Maw and Kindred. Kog'Maw is not even that bad. But I've built like Shojin Rabadons and Twisted Fate, and he's done like 5k damage a fight.
Oh
He actually does a
wow.
lot. So extra resources is always good in this comp. I mean, obviously in any comp, but so Cypher into this comp, and once you hit like 4-1 with like 20 HP, you can go for Galio 2, Sejuani 2, Zeri 2, and you'll hard stabilize for sure. Because 6 rapid fire with Zeri 2 is really, really strong on stage 4, especially when people haven't hit their board yet. And then another thing you can do is if you win streak with like a Kog'Maw 2 and Twisted Fate, like a really good board that you can play early game. It's like Kog'Maw, a Shaco with a rapid fire emblem, which is actually really good. And then TF, and then just a random Wizard Frontline with
Just any syndicate unit, right? Yeah.
Darius. Yeah. Like this is really strong. You just don't have the Shaco, and
Mm-hmm.
he does a lot of damage. Or even just Kog'Maw 2 with like a Skarner. Like the early game with this comp is very, very flexible. So if you win streak with this, you can just go 9 and find one Zeri, one Sejuani, like find your trait web, and then just go straight to 9, and then find your Renekton. And then
Okay.
then you can stabilize really hard.
So essentially, if you're win streaking with this opener and you have the +1, you can essentially get away with stabilizing off like 1 star Sedge, 1 star Zeri, and then teleport to 9.
Yeah,
And if you're the other way to play, you said, is to play Cypher, sort of a loose streak, and then roll down at 8 and try to hit 2 star everything.
yeah.
What does like your level 8 board look like? What's that like strongest board? Is it always 6 rapid, or do you play like 4 bastion, 4 rapid?
It's always in this comp. Once you hit six rapid, you don't ever drop six rapid because this is the core of your comp. So on level 8, it's just Sejuani Jax plus the six rapid fire units. And if you haven't hit your Renekton's and your items are allocated on the Azeri and Draven, so you don't want to find another carry, you can even play your Galio with first three Bastion, which is not great. But you can play your Galio and then play your Rapid Fire Emblem on Sejuani. Because this allows her to cast like one more time, because she gets a lot of attack speed, which is not even that bad. So like with this, you have three frontline units, and you have your Rapid Fire units, and this could be your level 8 board.
Okay, interesting. So you're always committed to 6 rapid fire, even at the cost of frontline, because essentially your offense is so strong, your defense doesn't need to be as heavy.
Yeah.
Okay. What are like the best augments you think, in your opinion? What should you be looking for?
Gold Augment, there's this one really cool augment called Speed Kills. This thing, if you read what it does, it allows you to cap higher by like 1.5x, 1.5 attack speed, and also start your entire team with 0.5 attack speed. In a comp that scales better with attack speed, this speed kills with six rapid fire. I've 12 streaked with Zeri one Sedge one straight into a win with this augment. This augment is insta pick in this comp. You cannot miss this. And then the
Wow.
second best augment, second best gold augment is healing orbs, in my opinion. It's actually pretty close between healing orbs and another one I'll talk about later. But healing orbs is an augment that converts your damage into frontline. And rapid fire is a comp that has a lot of excess damage, but lacking a lot of frontline. And this perfectly compensates for that. And then the third best augment I think you can find is overheal. This augment it scales your off your auto attacks, which is the whole point of six rapid fire, which is why this is like a lot of damage. It also heals your unit, so it gunplay is still good, but it doesn't like it puts a lot less pressure onto building those healing items. So on Renekton, if you have overheal, you can build a Runan's, for example, Runan's QSS, and it will do a lot more damage.
Interesting. Okay. What about like prismatics? Is there any other like insane broken ones?
Prismatics, I feel like prismatics for this comp, there are not a lot of good ones. Uh, Notable ones are, I mean, obviously buried treasures because this this economy, we need items, and then Void Storm is really good because it gives you frontline.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, just anything that gives you frontline is really good. One thing that's also surprisingly good is coordination, because this comp you need a lot of like the space. As you can see on level 8, you have to play three Bastion most of the times, which is really awkward. But with the coordination, you get to play four Bastion on 8, and then you can play Zac on 9, which is always your in after four Bastion. So this accelerates your game plan by a lot, which is in my opinion really good.
Would you say there's any good like black market ones to look out for?
There's a really broken one, Share the Spotlight, because it gives you Omnivamp on the units that you need Omnivamp for, and Damage Amp for all your like high attack speed units.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also where is it? Chemtech Overdrive, because this gives you 450 like 5 HP on your front lines.
Oh, so you
This
would
is
just
not
put
as
them on
good,
your frontline
but
units.
this is like any frontline is just really really good, which makes like bulky and stuff really good as well.
Okay, so
And
like
one more
moonlight.
note
Yeah.
is quality over quantity is really really good. As I said, every unit in your comp is a carry, so you can just put one item on everyone. It saves your like item economy, and it also scales really well with the attack speeds.
Oh, interesting. So if it's one item only, what about endless hordes? Do you think that has any value in this comp?
Personally, I feel like that augment is not very good,
Mm-hmm.
just because uh, you only get one item, but it's not even a prismatic.
Yeah.
And because if it's not a prismatic, you still need the healing and stuff, right?
Right.
Unless you have like endless voids with like overheal, but even then, it's not that good because it just lets you play more frontline, but at the expense of building gunblade and stuff. So isn't that basically sacrificing frontline for frontline? So it just feels really awkward.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. It's just that you mentioned like getting more units is good, and having more units on your board is good. So I thought like maybe with that theory, endless sword's good. But I think you're right. The augment's just like understated, and you
Yeah.
do lose too much front line for this comp. What about items like sponging or specific ones like the static shiv augment?
The stack shift augment, I've tried it myself personally. Uh, I feel like the stack shift augment is like overrated in this comp.
Mm-hmm.
It's good early game because it does a lot of damage, but the flat damage like falls off later. And
Gotcha.
your only item carrier is TF because you actually need the best items on Renekton. And Zeri, you need a healing item. So healing item plus two shifts just feels wrong because you actually want damage item on
Mm-hmm.
her, which scales better than the static shifts. So itemizing a TF, like I know I said TF is a decent item holder, but itemizing a TF over like your Draven 2 still feels pretty bad.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to make sense.
Anger issues is really bad in this comp because Rage Blade is a never build item in this comp, and this turns all of your items into a Rage Blade.
Finally, what are your best plus ones in this comp? Besides obviously the plus one rapid fire, but given the like an emblem of Urgot Portal or anything that Tomo traits, like what are you looking for?
Marksman Emblem is actually really, really good because it shreds armor on autos,
Mm-hmm.
and this comp autos a lot. I put this on Renekton on or Zeri, but it's mostly Zeri because Renekton you need the two best items.
Right.
Bastion Emblem is decent because it's just more frontline, obviously. Like instead of playing a Zac on 10, you can play another Bastion, six Bastion. I'm pretty sure six Bastion, six Rapid Fire is Exodia if you somehow get to that.
Wow. Okay.
Bruiser is not great because you don't play a Bruiser.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not a thing. Not a thing. Not a. This is not good. Obviously, Slayer. I've played Slayer onto Zeri when I had a trade tracker, but that's a trade tracker. Like if you can somehow get a Slayer unit on, this is actually pretty good because it heals. It's
Mm.
like basically a gunblade, so it's not that bad. But it's like really niche situations. This
Okay.
doesn't work. The goat. And then Dynamo, it's not good. I actually I played Dynamo without the Dynamo before. The effect is actually pretty good. So like because Zeri casts a lot, you see Dynamo being played in MF Zeri, which Zeri only has a Rage Blade and like doesn't cast as much as this Zeri, right?
Right.
So this actually is a lot of damage out. Like that's why Trade Tracker I think in this comp is so broken because it gives you like 2 to 3 usable emblems. Like not usable as in like they have an effect that does something.
Right.
So Dynamo, like, this is basically a half an item. You put it on the Draven, you're happy, right?
Right. And
Boombat
also,
is really, really good.
yeah, he
Like,
also
just
gives you a chance
plain
to hit him
God mode.
like plus one bastion, plus one rapid, right?
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
By the way, with plus one rapid, you always drop Kindred because I don't know why she's even like a like rapid fire
Right. Yeah.
because like her like cast time's like 3,000 years. The Golden Nox, obviously, trade tracker, can somehow get it. Street Demon, don't play that. Syndicate. Syndicate is frontline. If you can somehow get another like I think I've had a game where found like a Vanguard Syndicate from Trade Tracker,
Mm-hmm.
and I played a Braum, and it's like decent frontline. It's like 30% max health shield. It's not even bad.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Divinicore is always fine, right?
Yeah. It's
It's
just
just
healing.
healing. It's actually good. And then Vanguard, meh. Exotech is fine. Instead of playing a Zac on 10, you can play a Mordekaiser. It depends on your second item.
Real quick before we hop into the VOD review, what do you think are the best EXO items?
I think first of all, do not play this with Hollowable. Like the comp is good, but if you have a Hollowable in one, you're just wasting a full item.
So,
Hyperfangs is honestly pretty decent
mm-hmm.
because Hyperfangs heals. It's not great because you never triggered a shockwave, but it's just like the stats is just like 20 AD and healing. It's not even bad. Pulse is S tier because it's like basically IE on crack. It's really really strong, especially paired with Leons, as I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Flux is always also S tier because it's it procs on autos. Like these two, I think Flux might be better than Pulse, but Flux procs on autos and it just melts their frame line. And then for tank items, Chassis is always S tier because this thing is just overstated. It gives you so much shield, even on non-mord units. Cybercoil is really good, but it doesn't work as well on the Sedge because you cast like twice a game, and this thing lasts for 8 seconds actually. So like she doesn't like at the end of the fights I would check this and it will be like 600 healing. So it's like it's decent, but it's nothing to like write home about.
Gotcha.
Pulsar Lantern is the worst tank item in Exo, but it's still fine. It's basically just a weaker Warmogs. And then I think that's it.
Yeah. Say you get a +1 offered as an augment, but you check your exo item and it's hollow bow. Are you still angling towards that, or are you just giving it up entirely?
I feel like rapid fire is a comp where it depends on your spot. Like if you have a really strong opener with like Cog 2, and like I think the comp is strong enough to support that you being down a whole trade. But it still wouldn't be ideal. Like it just depends on your spot. I wouldn't lose streak into Hollow Bow with Exo with rapid fire. I would win streak with this, and then just waste this item on like a just put it on the front line for like the Exotech HP.
Gotcha. Okay. So it depends on your spot. If you get to a point where your tempo is so high, it doesn't really matter. But if your spot's like not great, you don't really want to lose streak into it.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the quick VOD review. We're gonna go over one of my own VODs that I played this morning. Came back from a 3 day break and wanted to check out the meta. And I had a good spot for rapid fire, and I heard good things about it. But I had no familiarity with this line, so you're gonna have to excuse me for how while I play this. But essentially, we're gonna kind of go and scrutinize this video. Uh, I'll play it on 1.5 times speed, and you just let me know when to pause when you want to talk about something, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So this portal, I think, is the egg portal at stage 4. We got our 6 gold dropped here. I think we saw X item was Cyber Coil. No real clear line for rapid fire yet. I'm more thinking of like, hey, I have this early Shyvana. Let's play towards early Nitro and then tempo into Zeri or Dynamo or maybe go fast 9. No sword drop, so I don't really know how hold this shake goes. Get my 3 Nitro here, and I get to essentially, like, I have a pretty good opener. I have the Ilaoi for my next in, for Bastion. I also have my Jin, might be better. Wait, we can skip ahead here. So it's a gold portal, and we get even trad as our components. These are augments. So what would you say your roles are here?
I mean, I think Cooking Pot is so strong in the in this era. It might be one of the best gold augments. So I'd probably take Cooking Pot. I mean,
Okay.
I'd probably roll a middle one, right?
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe I can tempo Nitro with a Clutter Mine, just because like I don't have the bow yet for the thing, or a good spot for Morgana, which is the other line you can play. But yeah, I like rolling like 2 and 3 here. Um,
Yeah, you can also always play Bruiser from here, right? Because you have a belt.
I do, yeah. Kind of unsure from that spot. I think like we're playing to Fiddle. I don't really like committing to Fiddle from this spot. And I think Morg is always taking. Yeah, that guy has a Blighting Jewel.
Yeah.
You know, seem a bit hesitant here. Let me quickly change this to times 2 speed. Any decision making here, or would you aim towards Nitro with
I
Polish Chrome, or
I think it's just left side because Polish Chrome is understated, and I mean Polish Chrome is not understated. Nitro Reroll is understated,
mm-hmm.
and the Patient Study I feel like it's a fine econ argument, but like you just don't really want to be taking econ these days, as I said earlier, because it's like just need combat and item.
Okay, so you value items over even on 2-1 over like econ and stuff?
Yeah, it depends on how strong the econ is. Because patient study is like an econ that it's like nothing to write home about,
Exactly,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
But things like slamming is really broken right now because it gives you half a component. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, a full component, and it also gives you like the same amount of XP as patient study, basically, right?
Yeah.
So that like I think that's also one of the strongest gold in the uh in the patch right now. But right now, from these three options, is just cooking pot. I think.
Okay. All right. So you'll be glad to know that I made the same decision. I was like, yeah, let's try out this cooking pot. I know even Trad's one of the best items in this comp. Uh, I have a pretty decent opener here. So here, would you aim towards like keeping this nitro board in and like win streaking or trying to play your strongest board, or would you just like open sell like I'm doing now
I like selling and keeping a LeBlanc because
for Cipher? Yeah.
of Zephyr, yeah.
Right.
Also, you want to try and get a Galio. Yeah, you have a Jax already. You want to try and feed this ASAP.
Mm-hmm. This is leaving on the board and now. Would you just be okay? I guess it's like even Shroud here, and then do you go for bow of Cursoul here for sure, or do you go for like a
Yeah,
sword or something? Oh, it's always bow.
it's always both.
My
Because
thought.
bow is also like half red buff and like Runans, which is one of the strongest items you can build in Rapid Fire.
I see. Okay.
Like sword is better as a component, I
Hmm.
think, but you just need to guarantee this Rapid Fire. If you can't get this Rapid Fire by stage 4, you're just losing 3 rounds for free.
Right. Okay. In my head, I was thinking, I want to like farm good components while I'm loose streaking anyways. So I think I do take sword off this character. So it's on 3 costs. I think bow's on a 1 cost, but we'll see. I mean, I just slam even shroud here because I think it helps you kill one, and it's always gonna be even shroud.
Yeah. You also should be scouting for. I mean, I guess you're already committed after the even shell slam, but you should be scouting for CC if they are MF Zeri players because that's a pretty popular
Hmm.
line.
Yeah, contest your Sejuani and your Zaries. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think it was a. So you think still think it was bow here? I do get the
I still
Draven
think
with
it's
his
spot
sword
here.
though.
Because if you had the LeBlanc, I would have taken Draven,
Hmm.
but you still the LeBlancs. I mean, you didn't buy this LeBlanc, but I think you just need to guarantee the bow here.
Gotcha.
Because if
So
you miss on Rapid Fire +1, your entire like your game plan is
right,
really fucked.
yeah. I guess yeah. I was like, I mean, I'm guaranteed one of pretty much one of every component. It's a pretty low chance I don't get it, but yeah, I guess guaranteeing the bow is pretty vital here. I'm probably just always holding Draven here, right? Even at the cost of 1 gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Think to my scouting, make sure I can 5 loss. We'll skip ahead here then. No surprise here, another loss. And for cooking pot, are you okay just with like stacking jacks or whatever unit you find for the HP?
Yes, stacking Jax and then the second Galio once you find it.
Gotcha.
It's just fly HP onto your front line. It doesn't really matter who it's on. Because you're not itemizing one over other. Like you're itemizing Galio and then you're itemizing Sedge. So it's just like fly HP on your front line is fine.
Essentially, it's just like adding HP to your team. Doesn't really matter who it's on.
Yeah.
Okay, so these items, what would you make here?
Uh, it's probably Val DB.
Okay, yeah. Not really much options here, right? Like you're not gonna go IE, Vow, and leave sword
Yeah.
open, right? I guess you can leave sword open for a gunblade.
Yeah. I'm just uh yeah. I guess that's like foreshadowing, I guess. But IE is not a good item in this comp, just because everyone's autoing
Hmm.
and like Zeri's cast. I guess like DB is a better item than IE.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in this spot, like I don't have Cypher in or anything. I'm gonna go back quickly a bit here. What's my game plan here? So I just 5 loss. I got my 6 loss, and am I rolling anytime soon, or am I just like trying to get Cypher in and sending it on for a 1?
Uh, it's probably just trying because you don't have the bow to win streak with, right?
Mm-hmm.
4 rapid fire is pretty strong mid game. But you don't have the bow for the spat, so it's probably just lose streak. Trying to find
Gotcha.
Cypher.
Okay, so let's get to the augments here. Uh, what do you like here?
It's probably just middle because you're lacking a lot of items.
Mm-hmm.
Middle and take collector.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't prep anything. I'm not
yeah,
re-rolling. Yeah.
yeah.
And then now, like, I'm looking to make an IE, right, with my next sword.
Uh, I think it's still QSS next. I mean,
Okay.
it's bow next and then into QSS
Okay.
because as I said, crit is like higher valued even without spell crit because
Right. Right.
everyone's autoing.
Right. So to be clear for people watching, he's saying he values uh, the crit chance, but he doesn't really value the ability to crit, which IE does.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
And
how.
honestly, this is also like hindsight because probably shouldn't have slammed that DB on 3-1. You should have waited until your augment choices. Because if you had the collector, I definitely would have slammed IE anyways.
I see.
It's just a good pair of items, right?
Right, and then
But
you have the sword open for your gunblade.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So I don't think I rolled that right now. I did. Holding these. I think I get Cypher now. It's just like it's gonna be like 6 gold max. Doesn't really matter. Um, Let's skip ahead here. Pretty much break my streak here. I mean it's a bow off the Zeri, right?
Seri bow, you have to.
Yeah. I'll,
Yeah,
I must.
that guy looks like he's playing Zeri.
You think, but he's playing. I thought too. But he's playing Aphelios.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can win streak from here, I think.
Yeah, so I think it's a fine level. Just playing like 3 Cypher, 2 Bastion, 4 Rapid Fire. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably just play Cogm over this Kindred. Actually makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
You'd be surprised on how much Kog'Maw does fight. It's like he does like 2k somehow.
yeah, he just doesn't have no any downtime on his cast, so just
Yeah.
makes great use out of it. Unfortunately, lose that one. I think Giovanni 2, just too much getting through.
Sejuani.
Yeah, a bit of a high roller. At this point, I start stacking Sejuani. I think that's all right here, just because
Yeah.
might as well. Let's skip ahead here a bit. Unlucky loss here. I think this
I
is
think
just.
remover economy is actually really important in this comp. So I'm not sure about the moving items there.
Oh, you don't?
Because
Okay.
first of all, Jax 2 is a stronger tank than Sedge 1.
Mm-hmm.
And also, most of the times you're going to be putting item on Galio 2 than Sedge 1, right? Unless you load in with Sedge 2.
Right.
So you
Even
should
with the
wait and
bow,
see
or
yeah, even with a bow. That was just like it's just flat shield, right? It's obviously better on Sejuani with the starting mana, but yeah, Galio's just the better tank. Sejuani is more like a utility tank.
right. But with this like, if I have like 3 item tank here, should I not go for it? Because it's gonna be Gallia with 2 items max, right? Without Cyber Coil, it's just kind of awkward to have Cyber Coil on Jax and then like 2 item on Gallia, right? And I'm always gonna use the remover either way.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I think Jax 2 is a stronger tank than Sejuani.
Okay, with the stacked, right?
Yeah.
Loki might have been 4 turn egg here. Would you just roll it down here like me, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because you're 40 HP. You should. Okay, I was gonna say you should hold Zed there, but this guy's just a high roller.
Yeah, I know now though. Okay, you probably have issues with my. Okay, I messed up this turn. Played 5 rapid fire, but you're probably gonna not like my itemization here. It, I mean, what do you make here? I have to ask you first, I guess.
I mean, you have to make the IE, but you're not happy with it. Honestly, no, it's actually Hodge on. Yeah, it's Hodge.
Hodge Giant
It's
Slayer.
Hodge plus GS. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, see hat tier.
I was thinking, hey, with all this attack speed, this Shiv isn't looking too bad.
Yep.
But
Also, it's always eat Zeri, so you need the Hodge, right?
yeah,
For the healer. Oh, bulk is S tier.
I'm glad I'm making all the right augment decisions here. Um, but I think it's just some of the execution and just I think one itemization mistake here is pretty deadly, and also not taking bow off first carousel. I might.
I don't think you should.
I don't think I should roll here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just put the items on. Actually, I think it's still on there. The thing is, with this comp, you need to get to 9 with the 4 Bastion. 4 Bastion, like, the spike isn't the Renekton, the spike is a 4 Bastion. Because you need a frontline, right?
Mm.
Especially with the bulk. Shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Also, your Renekton is not eating anything right now.
it is. It is not. I do remember you saying that like the TF2 and the COG2 are actually significant upgrades, but I know that Kindred doesn't really matter, so that's why I sold for the 20.
Yeah, Kindred is trash.
Yeah. Who do I end up eating though? Right now I'm feeding like Zeri here, this is also a big question that a lot of people will have is like with the cooking pot, who do you start feeding with this Renekton? Because you can't put it on frontline, obviously, right?
You have to feed Zeri because you have to eat Zeri.
Gotcha.
There's
No real
just
choice
no
in this
choice.
matter.
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly fine because with healing, Zeri actually like heals a lot. Like she solos a lot of fights.
All right, let's skip ahead. This was I don't even know what carousel this was. Hacked eggs.
What?
I don't know. It was a hacked carousel. I don't even know what it was. Hacked eggs hatch at different times.
I think this is just a bug.
Oh, it's just a
It's
bug.
just
Thing?
an encounter. Yeah. Great.
I was
Alright,
wondering.
guys.
I thought this was like low-key a 2-star. I was like, wait, why is no one getting the 5 costs? I took cloak. I think
Cloak.
for QSS, but
I think it was glove there. Glove
Uh,
is both QSS and Hodge.
that's true,
Cloak is
right?
just Hodge.
Yeah,
QSS, right?
Missed Garen pair. At this point, I should probably just making 40 and then just going to 9, right?
Yeah.
What's my spot looking like here? Like, what would you say my expected placement is in the spot?
with these items, probably not great.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have you're really far away from any healing items. Your closest healing item is a BT, as you said.
Right, right. It's just that
Like with a
important
Hodge
basically.
here, I think you win every fight on stage 4.
Well, okay, interesting. I probably should have sold Zach plus Urgot there. Now that I think about it, uh, in my head I was thinking my final board's going to be like a Zach, but now I think about it, it's like oh, it's gonna be four passion, right?
Yeah, it's Zac in on 10.
Mm-hmm.
So you can roll for blobs, but if you want to make econ, just sell it.
Yeah, should have made 10 last turn then. Yeah. Surprised I actually beat this Morgana player.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good comp into Morgana because Morgana's really slow and this comp is a really rapid. Yeah.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah, great.
But I think like this entire game is the it's just the itemization. Yeah.
Okay, that's the key
Like,
thing here. Yeah.
yeah. Like oh,
Yeah. And again,
this
like
is where the downfall starts.
getting pretty busy here. I hate these ones. I have the egg hatching soon. I think it's. I scouted it, so I was like frying pan, or sorry, it was a spat or frying pan, 50-50. So I'm kind of stressed out. I'm taking bow because I know I'm getting like a 50% chance of rapid fire here. What's the artifact here? Is it Wits End? Is it Fish Bones?
It's fish ones, but it's not on Renekton. It's on Zeri.
On Zeri. Is it ever? Doesn't Wits End heal? It does, right?
Oh wait, I'm actually I haven't tested that out yet.
Because
Loki,
because Wits End,
that sounds kind of good.
I was thinking like I was thinking I'm cooking too much because think about you can still see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Wits End is that not only does it heal, attack steal bonus magic damage, and Renekton attacks 3 times per auto, right?
Wait, you're right. It's so.
So it might like proc 3 times. And I definitely should have tested it out here, right? I think it's
Yeah, I'm not gonna test it later.
okay. Yeah. So hidden might be hidden CN undiscovered tech. I mean,
Also, by the way, just now it was Runans. I don't know what
uh,
the tier is
off
for,
the
but
first
it was
component
Runans.
of the
Yeah,
component event. Okay, it was Runon's always
because you're missing. You have a lot of frontline already
right. Yeah, I think I took
with
like
bulk as
adaptive
well.
or redemption. Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
you
I
said
adapted.
yeah.
Also, by the way, one thing is that you got cooked here because artifact scales really bad with this comp. I mean, I guess maybe Wits End, great, but most artifacts are really bad. The only ones I can think of are like the Trickster's Glass, which just gives you more frontline,
Mm-hmm.
and then like Collector is pretty good, I guess, but like that's pretty much it.
Right, right. So you don't want to see artifact here. It's doomed. Okay.
Yeah, that was a really bad Prism. Like I think your placement was like a 3 or 2 just
Mm-hmm.
now before the Prism.
So now it's like
That sucks.
a 7 or 8.
Yeah, because you're just down to full Prism. Also, yeah, Renekton is not good with this item.
Yeah, I think he got worse here. I don't know. I don't know. It's not in the text, but he just starts dashing. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was a thing.
Also, because Fish Monster is not that great in this comp because you want to be focused on like one unit.
Right. I know without 6 rapid fire, it's like double range is like Biss on him, but with the rapid fire, it's actually Whis.
Oh, great.
Okay. I thought that was Pan. That's my bad there. I had to take the bow.
I mean, Divinic Core, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Divinic Core QSS, I guess Redemption is fine.
I think that's basically. I made Runons. Oh, I made Exo item. Oh, I should have made Divinity Core. That's stupid of me.
Yeah, I mean, Exit doesn't really do anything until you get to 10.
All right. Yeah.
I'm not sure you're doing that.
I was honestly like a lot of decisions. I was just too dizzy and I was just making random stuff to like save a
Yeah.
placement. Um,
I mean, that Absorb was a really big pitfall.
yeah. Well, that's pretty much the end of it. You can watch me go my final fight here. This Renekton is looks like he seems like he's doing a lot, but is all that just for like
Yeah.
3K? That's
Yeah, you got,
crazy.
yeah.
I also know anti-heal this comp, so that's
I mean,
probably
you
the
don't need
reason.
that to
Yeah.
heal this comp. It's good, but it's not your priority.
Right. Right. All right. So that's pretty much the end of the video. What are some key takeaways from that VOD? Uh.
Well, first of all, not to glaze the comp too much, but like you see how you didn't build any healing,
Mhm.
and the Prism Orb was like the worst thing you could have gotten, and then it still looks like you're about to like like you're close to winning out, right? You hit the Renekton too. Like
Right.
I think you move the items, you move the fish bones to Zeri, and then move the real items to Renekton. I think you could have top four for sure.
No, I see. Yeah,
But I'm just
no
yeah,
cope,
like
but
with healings, like it's really
so
good.
I have like Whis items. I have like Whis. I am down two artifacts, which basically essentially is like I'm down two prismatic augments, and I'm down like six items because I made some pretty bad ones. And yet
Yeah,
I still my board like not even that bad. I just hit Zeri on my second last turn. And HP wise, like I can see myself top four. I agree.
yeah.
All right. What any final thoughts you want to say? Anything you want to plug or any final comments about the comp? If people are trying to climb, what? Any tips?
I mean, this is the I I have the most fun playing this comp, so I advise you guys to play some more of a Rapid Fire when you see the spots for it.
All right, man. A heavy endorsement for the comp from NA's best rapid fire player. If you
Great,
guys like these types of videos, I'm trying to make a series on them. So if you guys have a player that you think is really good at one tricking something or has a line, send them my way, and we might do another one of these.